The events of this case date back to 2009, when a Moroccan city witnessed a bizarre occurrence officially documented in the archives of family law cases and legal disputes. This was no mere popular rumor. It evolved into a formal legal file requiring meticulous judicial and social investigation amidst claims of a spiritual attachment from the unseen world. Imagine marrying the most beautiful woman in the city, only to find yourself fleeing your bedroom in absolute terror in the middle of the night, after witnessing events beyond the boundaries of imagination. This was no ordinary horror story. It was a meticulously planned fraud that shook the halls of justice in 2009. How did an idealized love story turn into a nightmare? And what shocking truth was hidden behind closed doors? Radwan was a wealthy, handsome 25-year-old. He had lived life to the fullest and traveled the world, determined to marry only a woman who would capture his heart at first sight. His mother grew exhausted searching for him, until a matchmaker arrived one day with good news. I know a poor village girl, virtuous and naturally breathtaking. Her real name is Siham, but in her village, she is known as Kohila because her eyes always look naturally lined with coal. Radwan took one look at Siham and instantly fell head over heels in love. They were married shortly after in a lavish wedding ceremony. A year passed, then two, without children. Radwan's mother, began pressing Siham relentlessly, suggesting they visit a local man known as Sheikh Al-Tayeb to treat her fertility struggles. Siham vehemently refused, calling it outright sorcery. But Radwan's persistent pressure eventually forced her to go along despite her objections. The fraudster welcomed them, asked Siham for her mother's name, and crafted amulet for her to place beneath her pillow, promising she would conceive soon. Just 2 days later, Siham woke up screaming in sheer terror. "There's someone else in the room with us." Radwan frantically searched the place, only for a black cat to bolt from under the bed and escape out the window. Panicked, Radwan remembered the old folklore about Jinn. They rushed back to the sheik, who chillingly confirmed, "My suspicions are correct. A Jinn lover has invaded Siham's life, and her husband must come immediately." Radwan accompanied his mother and wife to the sheik. The man muttered unintelligible chants, and suddenly, Siham collapsed, thrashing violently on the floor and screaming in a deep, harsh masculine voice, threatening to kill anyone who came near. Then the sheik declared, "You must all spend the night here. Siham must sleep covered by a single sheet, completely bare, while her husband sleeps far away from her." The next night, however, Radwan woke up to an even more horrifying sight. Siham was sitting right on his chest, her fingernails clawing near his face, screaming in that same guttural voice. Overwhelmed by dread and terrified for her son's life, Radwan screamed, "Divorce her before she kills you." And just like that, a terrified Radwan divorced her and paid her a financial settlement. Even so, he remained racked with regret, haunted by her memory long after. Siham returned to her family. Once things settled down, a simple, impoverished young man from the village proposed to her. She married him and moved away to live with him on a farm. But the story didn't end there. Months later, Sheikh Al-Tayeb was abducted and dragged to an isolated spot where an unknown assailant stabbed him 6 times, leaving him at death's door. Miraculously, he survived. During the investigation, The police searched his phone and uncovered a startling truth. He had been receiving frequent, repeated calls from Siham and from her new husband. Under intense interrogation, Siham broke down and confessed to the entire scheme. The whole thing was an act. Siham was never an innocent victim, as everyone assumed. She confessed that she had been in love with a young man who later became her husband for years. But her father had forced her into marrying Radwin purely for his wealth. Birth control. Throughout her marriage to Radwin, she secretly took birth control pills to ensure she would never conceive a child. The Jinn conspiracy. When she wanted a way out of her marriage to return to her true love, she paid the fake sheik to fabricate the Jinn lover narrative, coercing Radwin into divorcing her. She even bought the black cat herself and hid it under the bed to sell the illusion. The plot unraveled. After she married her lover, the sheik began blackmailing them both, threatening to expose the truth. So, the new husband decided to abduct and stab him in a desperate attempt to silence him and end the extortion once and for all. The trial concluded with the conviction of all three parties. The new husband, convicted of attempted murder against the sheik. Siham, convicted of fraud and swindling. The sheik, convicted of fraud, practicing witchcraft, and exploiting vulnerable victims. Anyone who claims to cure Jinn possession or romantic curses through illusions is nothing more than a fraud. And not every cat hiding under a bed is a supernatural entity. Sometimes, the most terrifying stories are simply the product of meticulous human planning. Every case, wrapped in mystery, leaves behind endless questions. And every puzzle reveals a hidden truth. Until the next mystery, stay curious, stay aware, and above all, stay safe.